Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for being here today with us. I'm Chris Broder from Beco Management, and we are so excited to have Liz Hilliard today as our guest speaker. She is a fitness expert and the author of Be Powerful, Find Your Strength at Any Age. And I would never say a woman's age, but if you knew what Liz's age was, you would be blown away. So, so we're definitely going to be listening to some great tips and tricks, and maybe not even tricks, actually, probably what we should all be doing all the time. We should be listening to Liz. I have a few housekeeping items, and then I'm going to turn it over to Liz, and this is going to be a great 30 to 40 minutes that we spend together. Beco has now put our calendar of everything that we are doing on the Flourish website. So you can just go right to beconet.com/flourish, and you can see everything that's coming for the week ahead of you. And we really encourage you guys to join us and to encourage your colleagues to join us. Caitlin, who's up at the top there, if you can see, will be taking everyone's questions at the bottom, and she will give Liz what the questions are so that Liz can focus on everybody's faces. And this is supposed to be interactive, so please jump in with all of your questions when you do have them. And with that, I'm going to stop talking and start listening to Liz. So I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. I'm not sure you guys saw my video, but it was right in this little room right behind me where a lot of the magic is. I'm Liz Hilliard, as she just introduced. And guess what? I'm 66 years old. I thought I'd just get that out of the way since we brought that up right off the bat. And I want to talk with you guys about what you want to talk about, but the importance right now, especially right now during this quarantine time, of health and staying fit and doing it the best we can and being a little nicer to ourselves than we generally are about, I got to go to the gym, I got to do it this way, I got to do all these things. I'm a really gentle, tough instructor, meaning you're going to find ways to work out. And I'd love to talk with you about that today in your own homes. And I love seeing a couple of guys coming on. And by the way, she said it already, but I want this to be very interactive. Why would I talk about something you're not interested in, right? So I'll give you just a little bit about me, and then let's just get rolling. So I created Hilliard Studio Method when my daughter came to me and said, I need to get in great shape. I'm like, what's the matter with you? You're in great shape. She was 6 feet tall, a little overweight. And I was a Pilates instructor. So I realized I was going through menopause because, at 66, I'm well past that now. I was in my 50s. All the things that were going on with my body were changing. And so I decided to recreate what I was already doing. And what I did was I challenged myself to do everything that everybody in the world was doing. I did Kung Fu, I did heavy weightlifting, I did yoga, a lot of Pilates. So I decided to create a form of workout that is safe, not only for any age, because remember I was going through menopause, she was 24, I believe. So I wanted to be able to do this workout with her. So what I was shocked to find out that the key to my workout, besides being safe and efficient, and not damaging the body like many things can do, pounding the pavement, which is good, it's great to run, but there's a lot of things we do that can actually damage the body. So this is my safe, effective workout that actually worked for my 53-year-old body at that point and changed it. And I was shocked. So I have created that. That was a long time ago. That was in 2007. And so here we are, present day. Hilliard Studio Method has been up and going now for years. And I'm now older, and I want you all to know that no matter how old you are, no matter what level you are in fitness, no matter how much you've been sitting on the sofa eating potato chips and French fries and God knows whatever else we can find during this quarantine, that moving your body and getting in shape can be done, and it can be done right now, right where you are. So that's my message to all of my clients all the time. People are frightened, really, because I don't know if you probably don't know anything about Hilliard Studio Method, but if you go and check us out, HilliardStudioMethod.com, we have a streaming service that is 7 days for free. And people go, well, that's the hardest thing I've ever done. But what we do is we take you where you are. So we have different levels. And so even, especially in the studio, I really love hands-on. See, I'm using my hands right now. I'm very interactive with my clients. My favorite client is the one that comes in and she's afraid and she goes, or she or he goes in the very back of the room, sits in the corner and goes, if I sit here, no one will notice me. And, you know, that person is the person that needs the community and the love and the feeling that I try to give to our clients every single day. And I do not let them walk away without feeling great about themselves. So, you know, Hilliard Studio Method was born out of love for my daughter, and it has grown through love of my community. So we're in a really tough time right now, and movement is key. We're all sitting right now. I mean, if you were with me, and I might even do it anyway, I would just really ask you all to move, to literally kind of stand up, you know, kind of like put your feet on the ground. Look at you getting up. Yes. And you know, just kind of stand up and see, just take a deep breath. Take a deep breath in through your nose, exhale through your mouth, and blow out all the stuff that you've been thinking about all day. Because, you know, God knows we're stuck at home. I don't know about you guys, but all of my friends and clients are homeschooling children, running companies, and drinking a lot. Is anybody drinking a lot? Can I get a Hillary? Now you got to stop that. No, I know. So we're going through a really, really tough time. So I welcome your questions. You know, I've got a lot right here in front of me that people have already asked, but stop me in the middle of anything. Because here's the thing I want to tell you real quick about exercise. I learned this right early on. Exercise for me came out of a lot of reasons, for my daughter, for myself, but vanity is a great, you know, is a great motivator. We were just talking about that before we came on. Another thing that is going to motivate you the older you get, or maybe even at your age right now, is that the studies show that exercise, any movement at all, any movement, you don't have to do Hilliard Studio Method, just getting up out of your chair and pacing and walking and talking on the phone at your business office instead of sitting in your chair, is going to affect your brain 100% more than it affects your body. Your body literally is the second down the line to get the results of activity. So one of the reasons that we have a lot of the diseases, I think we have Alzheimer's, dementia, and I'm not making this up. I mean, I'm just reading the science behind it. This helps not only keep you from getting dementia, but even after people that have got Alzheimer's, they're finding real results in movement of the body. So if you're going to move the body, you're going to see that you feel better. You're going to create more endorphins. You're going to, you know, release some of the cortisol that is keeping us all, you know, tightened up. That's your flight, or, you know, that is your hormone that, when you're in fearful situations, keeps your heart rate up. It also is that hormone that keeps weight up, because it just stops all the action in your body. So if you move your body more, you can reduce that amount of the hormone that causes your body to hold on to weight, that keeps your stress level up to here. So there's just, I love seeing all these guys. Jeff Cohen is up, he's moving. He has got his arms. Can y'all see him? No, I guess you're just looking at me. But yeah, I love these two guys. I love them. I don't know who you know.
Liz, can I ask a question?
Please.
Can you tell us how to motivate the unmotivated? And I will like throw myself under the bus for everybody and say that I have been the least motivated than I've ever been.
Okay. I bet because you're sitting at home, right? Well, I happen to see that you're wearing some really nice red lipstick that we talked about before. So you are motivated already. You're motivated to be your best self. You want to look good. Now, I think we all want to feel good too. So let's take that motivation. And I think that is a great motivator. I mean, I'm 66 years old. If you can see the roots in my hair, you're not gonna see gray, but you see some kind of weird color that's going on, that's some kind of thing I've been putting in. I don't know what it is. My hairdresser is gonna go, what the hell happened? But back to your motivation, let's use your vanity in a good way. And when I say the word vanity, I want you to really incorporate that as a positive emotion. I wanna look good. So let's start with that. If you get up and move your body, I promise you this, if you're out walking, is there anybody else walking during this quarantine? I think it's a great time. I'm getting on the street and it's like a crowd of people. And we're really doing some cool kind of dodging each other, kind of staying outside of the 6 feet zone. But for you personally, I think your motivation is going to be your vanity. So let's just don't think about your diet right now. Don't think about all that, because we're doing a whole lot of, oh God, I'm just so, stuck here. I'm drinking more wine than I should be doing. I'm eating more food than I should be doing. Well, let's just do a lot more movement than we usually do. Let's use that as a motivator and then start walking. Well, what happens once you start moving your body starts to feel better, and you have less need to put that 8th glass of wine in our body. And, seriously, I mean, we're starting in baby steps here. We're not saying stop drinking, stop eating sugar right off the bat. We're just saying, if you really got to have that box of cookies, eat half of that box of cookies and throw the other one out the door, literally away. And it's small steps. And I say this a lot. Lee and I my partner and I have a podcast. It's called Hilliard Studio Podcast. I hope you'll tune in, because we literally have been talking about the very thing. Somebody just yelled at me. I love that. That's cool. So there's your motivator. Your motivator is every time you put on that lipstick, I want you to stand and do it. Just stand. I mean, first of all, when you stand up out of your chair, you're going to have to immediately engage your core muscles. And I'll talk a little bit about that, just because everybody needs to know where their core is. It's not just that little belly that we have right here. It's the low back. It starts right here at your shoulders. If you're like this all the time, your core connection is gone. So let's just, we're all sitting, right? So let's do a little exercise. We don't have to move. We don't have to stand up. And I know I got Jeff on my team. Ready, Jeff? Because he's looking at me. Aha, I see you. All right, so bring your shoulders up. Take a deep breath. Inhale, exhale, press them back. And now lock them down to the back rib cage, as if somebody was standing behind me and pushing my shoulders down. At the same time, my chest was pressing out. So I was trying to open my chest, press my shoulders down. Immediately, I lifted my chin, because I can't be like that. We're looking for alignment in the spine. Okay, so that's the beginning of your core connection. Nobody would have thought shoulders, right? So take a deep breath in. Take one hand to your rib cage right here. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, zip up, meaning pull that rib cage closer together with your exhale. And that's everybody. And I just saw Lexi come on. She's doing it with me. Ready? And now take one hand, the other hand, to your low belly. Okay? So we're going to take a deep breath in. We're going to zip up, meaning like a corset. Zip up the rib cage. Pull the belly button in. Bring the shoulders up and back. And that means you've got literally from your pelvic area to your shoulders, you've just lengthened your spine. What happened then? You reduced the stress in your neck, because you pulled your shoulders away from your ears. You pulled your belly button in. You started to increase your calorie burn, because you're core connected. Every time you stand up, literally the act of standing up, you kind of have to do that anyway. But so be conscious of that core connection. Like when you're walking down the street during this quarantine, and it's really beautiful weather. I don't know where everybody's living, but here in Charlotte, and I think along the East Coast right now, it's very beautiful outside. So open your chest up, pull your rib cage together, like a woman would understand this, a corset feeling, that corset sort of zipped up, and walk with your head high, like you're a badass. And that's the other thing, because we are badasses. Here's the thing, when you finally get to go back to work, which I don't know that any of us will ever go back to our buildings, I'm not sure when it's going to happen, I want you to start parking a long way away and walking yourself to your building from your car. That's you're paying a lot less in parking way down the street in a different area. But you're going to have to walk like a badass, or somebody's going to try to mug you, because you're in the bad side of town at that point. At the same time, you're going to use your core strength. You're going to get your heart rate up, and you're going to get your exercise on the way to your desk. And when you get your desk is going to be high, because you're going to be standing, and you're going to be talking on the phone, and you're going to have your heart rate just at that rate where you're going to burn a little bit more calories. You're going to feel a little more confident. And when you get on the phone with your boss that first morning, you're going to go, yeah, I got this. Matter of fact, I got more than that. Matter of fact, I only got your job. Whatever. So, I mean, that's where I want to say the mind, body, spirit. We talk about this in our podcast. We've done 2 of them on this now. I'm going to go there for a minute. Mind, body, spirit. Those 3 things are one thing. There's no difference in my mind, my body, or my spirit. Because if one of those is off, the other one is off. If my body is slumped down and, I'm just like, you know, my mind is a little bit lazy and a little bit foggy, and my spirit is definitely low. But if my spirit is high, have you ever noticed how your body just kind of perks right up? So you can bring those three things together physically. That's my job in life. I've figured the one thing I could figure out, I couldn't figure out a lot when I was young, but I understood that movement of the body and body consciousness brought together my mental capacity and my spiritual capacity, and that the three weren't just connected, they're the same thing. So there's my spiel on my body spirit. Any questions at this point? No, anybody? So anyway, so we know that when we finally go out and we get these walks going, we're gonna get our heads high and we're gonna move. Jeff, I know you've got a question because you're leaning in. I wish you guys could see what I can see, because it's really, really cool. The other thing, what else can I talk about? Let me talk about my age for a minute, because
I have a question. I'm just trying to fix your picture, so that's why I'm leaning in.
Please fix my picture. How do I look?
Went off to the side a little bit. Now I got to fix it. So keep going. You're doing a great job. Thank you.
Jeff, what do you do in this company?
I think
you're the man. Okay, got it. You're the man that's in charge of this. So one of the questions I got that literally Hillary sent me, that some of you guys had asked, was, did I run into any ageism when I started this business? And I find it fascinating because I probably did and didn't know it. You know, my confidence comes from not believing that I know much of anything. So therefore, I have to learn everything before I do anything, if that makes sense. I think one of the greatest things that happened to me growing up was having a very deep low self-worth. I felt very stupid. I thought I'll never be anything, you know. Certain people were telling me that too, but I internalized that, you know, I don't know enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not enough. I'm not enough. I'm not enough. So when I decide to do something, I get all the information, and I always make sure I have people that know a whole lot more than I do about certain things. But then when I know about the body. So all the business stuff, I say, you're going to figure out how this thing's going to operate. You're going to do this on social media, and we're going to have this incredible business. And I'm smart enough to know what I don't know. So I think everybody knows that from a leader's perspective. But I used that as my power to start this business. I didn't even think twice about my age. As a matter of fact, I felt great. The minute I started doing this workout, I've written this in my book, and I have written a book, and if you guys want to read it, it gives a lot of this information in it. I felt like when I started doing this workout, like I was back into my early 30s, late 20s. And, you know, right before you have those children and you've kind of got your ducks in a row and you've gotten good sleep and, you know, you feel really good. That's how I felt. And I was in my 50s. So I'm like, I've got nothing to worry about. And I did not, you know, I'll tell you this, and I talk about this in the book too. I had no business plan. Business plan? Heck, I'm just going to go work out, and I think these people are going to pay me for it because I know what I'm doing. And if you really know that, if you really believe in yourself, which I had, you know, remember, I came up from no self-confidence, but if I really internalize that I know exactly what I'm doing, I can walk into any door and pretty much get whatever I want. And that sounds really egotistical, but it's not. It's the opposite of that. It is the opposite of that. The more you know yourself and the more you know who you are, the more people react to you as, well, yeah, of course I'll give you this loan. You want, what else you want? I mean, you know, so, and I don't know about you guys, but I'm going through the PPP loan right now. I'm a small business and I'm going through all of that stuff. And, you know, we all have uncertainty. I think everybody on this screen, and I bet I've got a second screen, that I bet we have all got a huge amount of uncertainty. I think in our jobs, in our family, in our health. And again, the workout, any working out, I want you guys to move your body. If you do anything for me today, walk away from this webinar and go out for a walk. Walk away from this webinar and do a plank. And if I have to show you how to do it, I will get down behind me and I will show you, because I want you to build your strength. I want you to build your stamina. and I want you to build your immunity, especially during this time. You better be a big ass bear to come get me with this horrible virus, because it's, you know, it can get any of us, right? But the stronger we are, the more we can at least have a fighting chance. So I'm going to talk 1 second about resistance training, and then I'm going to switch gears. But resistance training, that just means pick up something heavier than you want to. I mean, if it's a child, I did a whole wine bottle series. I don't think Hillary wanted me to use that one on this one. She asked me to do a workout, and I was like, let me do the wine bottle one. No, don't do that one. But do something that engages your muscles and does the trick. It does the damage. You have to damage the tissues of the muscle to build them. So it has to be uncomfortable. Life has to be uncomfortable in order to get to the next step. Your body needs to be uncomfortable in order to change. So I'm a big proponent of resistance training. You can get on a treadmill all day long, and I would go crazy of insanity. I would lose my mind if I had to be on a treadmill. I've never been a runner. I'm a big walker, but resistance training is the key to not just cardio health. Yes, we're talking cardio, because we can get your cardiovascular system up to that level where it's working just above the level that it's going to keep it strong and growing more. But we're going to work your body your musculatory system, your muscles, to the point where your body is going to not only sculpt and look nice, and there it is, your vanity, but it's also going to get in better health, stay in better health. You're going to feel better. You're going to have a smaller waistline. The key to losing weight is resistance training. People will tell you, and it is a lot of cardiovascular with that weight training, but Hilliard Studio Method incorporates that. And I'm not making you do jumping jacks. We're not running down the block, you know, for 2 miles. We are doing it safely. We're going to bring your heart rate up, and we're going to increase your muscle strength, which is going to increase every healthy thing in your body and help you reduce the incidence of getting disease of the body. And that's whether it's this virus, heart disease, or any disease.
Liz,
yeah.
What do you say to somebody either that hasn't exercised a lot or is older?
Yeah.
And like how, what precautions do you take? What's your, advice about how to get yourself in that mindset of slow growth towards working out?
Thanks for that question. That's such a good question, because that's the hardest part of starting. It's just the hardest part. So be gentle with yourself, honestly, but set a goal. Just set a goal. You say, I've never done a plank in my life. What do you mean a plank? What the hell is a plank? So you find that position. I'm going to show you in a minute, I think, when we get to the point where I can do that. I want you to try to do one thing. I'm going to ask everybody on this screen to do a plank today. Every single person. I don't know what your body types are. I don't know what your health is. Let me know if you're incapable, if you're unable to do it, and I'll give you something else to do. But I want everybody to try to do one thing. Set a goal every single day. I will get up for 15 minutes and I will walk up and down my stairs in my apartment building. I will get up and I will walk back and forth to the kitchen. I will stand the entire time I talk on the phone to my mother or my daughter. I think they need to question very carefully where they are physically, especially older people that are, postpartum, pregnancy. We have a lot of pregnant women that work out with us. Wherever you are in your health, you make sure you understand and have talked to your doctor and you're good to go. But we're not going to push you out of the gate going 60 miles an hour. I'm going to put you in a 10-second plank. I'm going to ask you to pick up 2 cans of peanut butter or jars of something. And I'm going to get you to do 10 bicep curls. You can put those jars down. And then I'm going to get you to do, 10 overhead pressers, and you're going to put those jars down. And you're going to listen to your body, and you're going to go, wait, I could either do more of that or less. And what I want you to do is work to your edge, meaning I'm going to work to my edge today. I've never worked out before. I'm going to do a 10-second plank. I'm going to walk 15 minutes up and down the stairs or outside. And I'm going to time myself 15 minutes, because the next day I'm going to do 16 minutes. And the day after that, it's going to be 17. And then you might really like it a whole lot and you might skip on up to 30, But the studies show, and I mean, going back to the brain, the studies show that even 20 minutes of walking, moderate walking, you get it, 20 minutes moderate walking does the same exact thing to your mood as does taking Zoloft, with further damages, I mean, further benefits down the road, you know, than taking a drug for your, you know, mental attitude. So yeah, that's an excellent question. Any other questions like that? Because
Yes, I have a quick question. So, and I'm quite sure you're going to touch on this, but it's a two-part question. One, in terms of doing all of these different exercises and so on and so forth, based upon our current situation, I'm sure you're going to talk about how to incorporate healthy nutrition into all that.
mm-hmm.
Two, when you know, for the most part, you're at work and you're more energized when you're at work. Now you're home, so the energy level, at least for me, is a little bit low, and I've become complacent where it's like, oh, I have a treadmill downstairs, so I'll go do it at this time. This time comes and I don't want to do it. So how do you as an individual find even the energy to even start just that one, you know, start somewhere?
That's such a good question, because you are tired. I mean, you work all day long. You come home, you're exhausted. You want to sit down, you want to relax. I mean, do you have kids or anything, or pets or anything?
Oh, my kids are grown, so I don't have any.
Good. Isn't that great? Good. And you don't have to deal with all that. Me either.
It's just me and my husband are home, and
Perfect. Okay,
that is a perfect time, but I find myself, I like wish I had kids, because then I would feel like I'm doing something, but I'm lazy.
Maybe you could get him to walk with you. If not,
we do that, but it's like, oh, do you want to go to the track? And it's like, oh, let's go tomorrow. And it's like, oh, okay. Like,
yeah. Well, I mean, and I hear you. Good Lord, I hear you. I'm the same way. I mean, I come home sometimes, I'm like, whew, I just rather sit here and have a glass of wine, you know? But even especially on those days, I mean, come home, get some sort of a system where you come in the door, you take off your shoes. And I know we're not going to go into all the garments that women love to take off the minute they come out of the office, but we're going to take those garments off immediately, right? And then we're going to just throw on some sweats and just go, hey, you know what? I'm out the door. Because right now, especially right now, it's gorgeous weather. It's going to be a little harder in the winter, right? We'll come up with another thing. We'll just say, you know what, I just got home, putting on my sweats. I'm going to make you do this plank. And one of these days, you're going to email me and you're going to tell me I'm up to a 2, 3, 4, 5 minute plank. And you're not going to believe how much my body's changed. You're not going to believe how much energy I have. So I'm not trying to get you to, you know, come home after a long day of work and have a huge workout, but come home and reset your body, kind of reset your mind. You know, it's very meditative actually for me. So the motivation there is to feel better. You know, the motivation there is to clear your mind of the day's work. You know, you're welcome to go in a dark room and meditate. Those are two great things and not necessarily separate things. But if it's a beautiful day, get your husband and say, come on, buddy, we're 5 minutes out. We'll go for it. I have a rule for going to movies. If I don't like the movie in 15 minutes, I'm out the door. Make the rule for you walking. You go, I'm going to walk 5 minutes. How are you feeling? Well, I'm feeling pretty good. You might want to go, or maybe it starts raining, you go home. Give yourself a 5-minute rule. These goals really help. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, go ahead.
You, are you exclusively working with women, or you also work with men? And if you work with men, so one of the questions I've been asking some of the people around BICO is people who don't work out specifically. And are in not that great a shape.
Yes.
What could I do for you to motivate you? What could I provide as a helper? What could BICO provide to you to help get you off of that chair and out of the TV set?
Brilliant. Okay, do y'all have a snack room, a thing, a place, a motivating thing for you guys? I would get the snacks out of the room and I would have like someone come in, or gosh, put me up on the screen. I've got free streaming. We can do classes up on do you have a screen in that room? Run it. Just run exercise. Put me up there. Put somebody else up there. Make it sort of a company, maybe policy. I don't know who's the person in charge here, but if I do run a company, it's a small business, and one of my requirements is you're going to get your exercise. I don't have a trainer on the floor that doesn't, you know, at least work out 4 or 5 times a week. So I would think that in order to incorporate movement into BICO is, it's necessary. As a matter of fact, it is like not having a snack time. You've got to have that sustenance of the movement of the body to be effective in what you're doing. By 3 o'clock, or really it's either, I think it's either 11 o'clock in the morning for me sometimes, or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you're having some kind of a crash, you know? We'll talk about that nutritionally if you want to, because there is a lot to do with that nutritionally. But the movement of the body is necessary, especially at those times, like that 3 o'clock in the afternoon, maybe that, whatever that morning time is, to get your effectiveness at work up. Okay, so what is that? I would give people options. I would put a workout up on a screen. Happy to, you know, send you this from us. I would put exercise bands or balls or something in the room. Stretch. You know what these cylinders are? Those foam rollers. There's nothing like getting. I've got one. I'll show you in a minute. Like getting on a foam roller and just kind of releasing some of that tension out of the spine. If you've been sitting at a desk all day, but remember, this group won't be sitting at a desk all day. You will be standing at your desk all day because you're going to be burning calories, feeling better, and probably being so much more efficient at what you do. That's the key. So I think use that room, or either just say, almost like a school, ring a bell. All right, you're out the door. You're out the door. Go do something for 15 minutes, but it's got to be movement oriented. And I would actually say at least 20 minutes, because that's the key. They say at least 20 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day of movement. And it doesn't matter what it is, but why not? If you're going to move, why not make it efficient? Why not add some resistance training to it? We have a band workout. Those bands, you know, I could put them in my purse and carry them to work. I can get my full upper body, lower body band workout in 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Could put those in there. So, I mean, there's just, but at the bottom line of what you're going to walk away with this is movement. For 20 minutes a day, even if you don't have a room that has a screen, it's almost like a school. Ring the bell and go, everybody's up, and we're going to move, because you're going to be more efficient. You're going to get your work done a lot better and more efficiently. Anything else on that? Good. Okay, so all right, so y'all want me to answer any of these other questions? I've got questions that are written down here. So there, I mean, some of these things were, people were like, how did you know you could do what you're doing? I think I've already kind of covered that. Let me see what this one was. I think this is a good question. So exercise, the exercise industry, somebody wrote, you're in a very competitive industry with the latest, hottest exercise, with trends happening all the time. And what is my secret to success? Well, who would think that at 52, 3 years old, I could start an exercise business that got women at least half my age in shape, faster than anybody else, you know, and continue to do that. And I'm going to continue to do it. I'm 66 years old. I'm not sure when that old age thing sets in, but I'm pretty sure it's when I quit moving, you know, because I don't have that, oh, wow. I remember getting my, I finally got a Medicare step this year. I'm like, shoot, this is great. I got a Medicare card. But yeah, anyway, whatever. The oldness is literally not just in your mind, but it is in your body. And the reason I could do it, the secret to my success was I designed the best workout I think you can do. And I say that with absolute humility, because I have put myself up against everybody else. And I have asked my clients to let me know if they would like their money back, if they don't see a change in their body, if they don't see a change in their attitude. I've had husbands call me and go, I'm not sure what this costs, but make sure she keeps doing it, you know, because it's not just the way they look, it's the way they operate. Remember, at BICO especially, you guys are a community of people that work together. You're in each other's space all the time. You come together and you all can invigorate each other to not only move and be better physically and to fight this horrible time with this disease off, but you can invigorate each other to become your best selves by moving your body. It can literally start with moving your body. I mean, I know we've all had days, especially lately, where we just sit and we go, oh my God, I can't read. I can't see the news again. I'm in a dark hole. Have we all been in a dark hole lately? I mean, I personally have. And I write about this in my book, and I've got a second one that needs to come out. It just, because there needs to be more on this. When we get to that dark place, that have you ever noticed when you're really scared, you literally stop? You literally can't breathe. You can't move. You're so afraid. You just stop. And sometimes there's nothing to be done except when you get in that dark place, stand up again. Just take one step forward. I've been terrified when they made me shut my doors. I felt kind of proud of the fact that I shut my doors for my business on March the 16th. The 17th, the governor said all businesses of my type are shut down. I closed on the 16th because I was really, really conscious of what this was. And it was the most frightening thing I've done in a really long time, because I went from 100% of a business to making zero, no money. And I couldn't even cry. I was so scared. I was terrified. And I remember sitting with Lee, and I was just sitting, and we were doing our podcast, trying to get our thoughts about us. And I just had to get up, and I had to move my body. And the more I moved, and literally it's going to happen to me and all of y'all every single day, especially during this quarantine, we're going to have those dark moods, especially when we hear the news. People we know are sick, or, you know, people are losing their businesses, or all kinds of things, or dealing with children. It's so hard. But the movement of the body is going to get us through it. And that sounds not true, but it is, because mind, body, spirit are one thing. And that's going to get us through it. So, wow, I went off on a tangent.
I have a question.
Liz,
Yeah.
oh,
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Caitlin.
oh, I was gonna say, we have a question in the chat here. Can you share one of your strength training workouts?
Yes. Oh, you want to see it? No. I get excited when you ask me stuff like that. I love it.
So
Yeah.
we
Okay.
actually already on the Flourish website under the green room, we have a down and dirty workout that Liz has already done for us. Maybe we will ask her to help us do a few more so we can put it up there so people can utilize it.
Let me send you guys. We've got, well, I don't know how many workouts we've got. We've got all kinds of live stream. Remember, we are live streaming. We've been doing this for 2 years before this business had to close physically. So we've got all these workouts, everything from 5-minute, 15-minute, 20-minute, 30-minute to an hour, 45-minute, upper body, lower body, the whole body. But you asked specifically about upper body. Did you ask specifically about upper body or not? Strength, you said strength training.
Strength training.
Yeah, strength training. Does everybody know what a bicep, tricep, and all that sort of thing is? Okay. So, did you see, if you see me on, I'm going to do this on my chair right now. Okay, see me? I think you see me. Did you see this one? So if I'm sitting on my chair, remember I did that little silly video for y'all, it was like a minute long, but I want you to slide off your chair and core connect, pull your belly button in and just bend your elbows and press them up. And bend your elbows and press them up. And see how many of those you can do. You're going to work the back of your arms, your triceps. You're going to pick up, and I'm looking for something around my room to pick up besides weights, but I'm going to pick up a right weight. Hang on a sec. So whatever you can do, imagine this is a bicep curl. A bicep curl is basically, gosh, y'all are seeing my white jeans. I wanted to show you what I was wearing on the bottom because I thought I'd look really professional from here up, but now you're seeing the real thing. So we're just going to bicep curl with maybe a can of beans, maybe a bottle of wine, which you could also just turn around and do that way. While I'm up here, strength training. Remember we were talking about that plank forever and ever and ever? Use this chair one more time. I'm coming back here. Can y'all hear me okay? Y'all hear me? Okay. I'm gonna use the chair again because this is gonna make it easier than going into a plank on the floor. So if I have a higher surface and I push back into a plank, now I've got a big shirt on, but if you could see, I've got my belly pulled in and I'm just gonna hold this. Now the longer I hold this, the more I'm gonna work every muscle in my body. That's strength training. That's strength training. I don't have to pick up the can of beans and the bottles and the all that. Or same thing, I can move this plank by bending my elbows and pressing up. That's a push-up, right? bending your elbows, pressing up. Now, the more you, and I'm going to get back to the screen and again, one more thing. This is a plank on the floor. This is 10 times harder than what I just did. This is a push-up on the floor. That's also harder. But you can do, it's just like you asked a minute ago, what do you do if you've never worked out? You start against the wall, doing that same thing. That's strength training. You don't have to have the equipment. You don't have to have the shoes. As a matter of fact, I want you to work out barefoot. Why? Because your feet are encased in these shoes every single day. And you want to make sure you're getting that proper alignment of the body. Well, your feet being planted on the floor is going to engage the small muscles around your knees, your hips. That's why Hilliard Studio Method works. We keep you barefoot in your workout. We ask that you don't drop weights on your toes, though. That would be bad. But yeah, that your basic strength training is a plank and a push-up. Okay, start with that. Today, you're going to do. You decide. Don't do less than 5 seconds in a plank. Okay. Maybe you do 10. Maybe you do 15. Maybe you do more. But tomorrow, you're going to do 1 more second. And today, you're going to start in a chair, and you're going to hold right here, and you're going to bend your elbows, and then press it up. And you're going to decide if you can do 1, 2, or 10 of those. And then tomorrow, you're going to do 1 more. And that's all it takes. And your heart rate is going to increase. It's not just getting out there and running on your treadmill or running on the sidewalk. As a matter of fact, I'd rather you get out there really core engaged and walk at a really strong pace with that badass look, you know, with your chin high, you know, that kind of thing. And people look at her and go, well, who does he think he is? Good. They want to look at you that way, especially if you're in that bad neighborhood where you're going to be parking when you go back to school. I mean, to work. So, okay, what else? Anybody else got questions?
I have a question.
Yeah.
As it relates to nutrition, I'm sure that we all know enough to be dangerous. We've
Good.
all heard the, you know, cut the carbs, cut the whatever.
Right.
I feel like I know the answer to this, but what one thing to remove from your diet would have the biggest impact? Would that be sugar?
I'm so sorry to say yes. Here's the thing on sugar, and be nice to yourself. Again, I'm very conscious of the fact that we are stuck at home. Sugar causes everything from colds to cancer. It literally does. It causes your body to get into a very acidic state, and that's where you're just a petri dish for disease. So sugar is the culprit to getting sick. I mean, I even know that. I mean, I don't eat a lot of sugar, but when I do, I can feel myself. That's when I like get a cold or something. I can feel it. So that being said, my guess is most of us have had some sugar during this quarantine, right? Maybe on a daily basis. I hear you loud and clear. Me too, by the way. But if you want it, go get it today or tomorrow. But every single day, just like those push-ups and planks, and I mean literally, I'm not saying metaphorically. If you're gonna have 4 cookies tonight or a full piece of pie tonight, tomorrow, you're gonna cut it in half, literally, and you're gonna shove it in the trash can. You're gonna waste that food. You're not gonna give it to the homeless people that need it because it's worse for them, okay? You're going to throw it away. So that's how sugar is the most addictive thing we have. I'm going to do one more little tangent on sugar. They did a study in 2017 or 16 on, they gave rats, you know, they're always doing this stuff to rats. They gave rats cocaine or sugar. Well, guess which one they preferred? Sugar. I'm like, what, really? So they got more addicted to sugar than they did to cocaine. So it's super addictive. It takes about 2 weeks for it to really kind of lose its hold on you. Find something that makes you just as happy as sugar, though. And we all know wine has sugar in it, correct? It's alcohol. Everything reduces into sugar in your body. But that is my sort of go-to, because I'll have a glass of wine and go, oh, this is so good. And I'll add maybe my snack to go to is always popcorn or peanuts or something like that. Because you don't want to go, oh, I'm not eating snacks anymore. I do not believe anybody's going to succeed at doing this to themselves, because it just doesn't last. We're joyful people. We're all wanting to have a great life and enjoy life. And at this point in our lives, there's so little joy in the world. We're finding it where we can. So let's find that joy, but let's keep it away from the thing that's going to poison our bodies. So not the sugar. So thanks for asking that, Hillary. And one of the things, if I can double up on nutrition, just 1 second, is, and if you read my book, which is right here, it's so funny, I picked it up, I hadn't read it in a while. I was like, what was she talking about, that strength brain stuff? And, but if you read my book, it'll talk to you about the importance of protein and good fats and good carbohydrates, you know, a well-balanced meal. I don't come down on any diets. Every diet craze that we all go through, we all know what happens. It's a craze, and then we go back to living life and enjoying ourselves and having family dinners, and you know, it's all out the door. And most of the time we gain weight. So one thing I've learned through this, and I know that it works because I am older. I'm older than I think everybody on the screen. I'm looking at your faces. I know I'm older. Is that I eat, he's giving me, Jeff's giving me that, but I eat a lot of protein, and I don't mean a lot of heavy meats, you know. Right now it's really hard to get meats, which is probably good for all of us. We need a little bit more of a whole lot more of a plant-based, fruit-based diet. So I get my protein by doing a lot of good whey powders. We sell them at Hilliard Studio Method. We have a Hilliard Studio Method signature smoothie that has, you know, the protein, 27 grams of protein from lots of seeds, lots of whey, or I really like the vegan sort of protein powder. And then we add good phytonutrients, which, you know, if you don't want to buy those and everything we have is organic and very healthy. But if you don't want to buy those, you just get a lot of greens and you shove them in your blender. But you make it good. Don't ever make a smoothie that doesn't taste good. Everything needs to taste good, because we are here to enjoy our life. And if we're enjoying our life, we'll keep doing it right. So we've got a Hilliard Studio Method smoothie. It's online, HilliardStudioMethod.com. You're welcome to email me if you're confused about it or anything, but it's delicious. And it's what I have had every single morning of my life, a version of it for the last 7 or 8 years, really. And
we will put it up on our website under the great recipes.
Yes, please do. Yes, it's so good. And then guys, also, I mean, I know I've sensed that it's probably growing later, but what I was going to say also, if you'll go online with us or maybe Zoom with us in this room. Lee and I come in here every single day. Look at us on HilliardStudioMethod.com for our schedule. But if you'll try our what am I trying to say, streaming platform, that's going to give you 7 days free. I mean, you know, it's your movie 15-minute plan. It is your walk 5-minute plan. I'm giving you 7 days. If you don't like it in 7 days, you're out. You've got nothing lost. Okay. But look at it and see where you could maybe incorporate that into your workout. It's $19 a month. I feel like that's, you know, pretty decent. And so anyway, I just had to give myself a little sales pitch right there. But I really want y'all to move, no matter what you do, whether you do my workout or not. I want you to move and stay healthy, and so we can all get through this, and BCO can thrive and be incredible, and you people can feel good. I mean, in the middle of all this insanity we're in right now.
Liz, thank you so much for today. We really appreciate it. It was fascinating. We will work with you offline to make sure that we get a connection for our customers to see all the great things that your studio is doing. And we look forward to more partnerships with you. We thank everybody so much for being online with us today. Like I said, don't forget to go to the website and look at the calendar of all the different events that are out there for you guys to enjoy with the rest of the BCO community. And we thank you very much for being a part of today's webinar.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you guys. You all are amazing. Email me. Let me know if you have questions. Thank you guys for this time. It was so much fun.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.